Mojtaba's proxy has unleashed fresh fury, with a mystery strike sending a warning signal toward Trump's Gulf ally Saudi Arabia. A mystery projectile struck a tanker near Saudi Arabia's oil lifeline, according to the UK Maritime Trade Operations Centre. A fire erupted on the ship's main deck just 63 nautical miles from Yanbu, one of Saudi Arabia's most important Red Sea oil ports. The crew was reported safe and accounted for, but the strike has raised a bigger question: who fired the unknown projectile? Iran's Hormuz blockade made Yanbu a critical escape route for Saudi oil exports, shifting millions of barrels toward the Red Sea. Is Saudi Arabia's Red Sea alternative now also under attack, threatening the kingdom's vital energy exports beyond the blocked Strait of Hormuz? The tanker strike comes as Pakistan's army chief, General Asim Munir, reaches Tehran to discuss easing tensions between Trump and Mojtaba's government. Pakistan's army chief arrived in Iran amid reported Houthi attacks on Saudi targets, placing Riyadh's security concerns at the center of regional diplomacy. Munir is expected to discuss Houthi attacks on Saudi Arabia, as Pakistan seeks to balance its new defense relationship with Riyadh and ties with Tehran. Notably, Pakistan, Turkey and Saudi Arabia recently signed a defense pact, creating a new regional security partnership as threats against Saudi targets intensify. Houthi forces claimed they shot down a Saudi reconnaissance drone over northwestern Yemen on August 23, according to reports. The Houthi-run Saba news agency said the drone was downed over Hajj province, near Yemen's border with Saudi Arabia. A Houthi military source claimed the drone was brought down using what it called an appropriate weapon, without giving further details. The claim came days after the Houthis reported 2 drone attacks inside Saudi Arabia's Najran region. Houthi spokesperson Yahya Saree said one drone targeted Najran airport, while another targeted an Aramco facility in the region. Saree claimed both attacks achieved their objectives, but did not provide evidence or details on any damage caused. The Houthis said the attacks were carried out in response to alleged Saudi drone incursions over northern Yemen. Houthi media released footage claiming to show a drone strike on a Saudi M1A2S Abrams tank in Yemen's Marib region. The video appeared to show a Rajam quadcopter dropping ammunition onto the tank at what was described as a forward position. The footage showed an explosion followed by a fire that appeared to engulf the armored vehicle, although the damage could not be independently verified. The M1A2S is a Saudi-specific version of the US-built M1A2 Abrams main battle tank, adapted for Saudi military requirements. Saudi Arabia had requested upgrades to its Abrams fleet to the M1A2S standard in 2006, according to reports on the program. Rajam was one of several drone systems publicly identified by the Houthis as part of their growing unmanned weapons arsenal. The Houthis have targeted Saudi Abrams tanks with anti-tank missiles several times since the Saudi-led intervention in Yemen began in 2015. The claimed drone strike highlighted the Houthis' growing use of unmanned systems to attack heavily armored vehicles and other battlefield targets. Yemen's internationally recognized government has issued a stark claim amid rising tensions, warning of a possible Houthi move near Bab al-Mandeb. The government's information minister claimed Houthi rebels are plotting to seize territory near Bab al-Mandeb, potentially expanding their strategic reach. The minister told AFP that the Iran-backed proxy is seeking to expand its presence along Yemen's Red Sea coast and nearby strategic areas. If true, the move could give the Houthis tighter control over the crucial shipping route, raising concerns for regional trade and security. The Houthis could also threaten Saudi Arabia's oil exports by placing greater pressure on the Red Sea route, adding another layer to the crisis. Yemen's information minister said, and I quote, "The Houthi militia is working to create the conditions for seizing control of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait by expanding its presence along the western coast, and attempting to control strategic Yemeni islands in the Red Sea, potentially strengthening its position around the vital waterway." The Houthi strategy is visible through repeated targeting of ports, docks, civilian infrastructure, ships and government naval capabilities. End quote. The Houthis do not control the Bab al-Mandeb coastal areas, but they do hold the key Yemeni port city of Hodeidah. Yemen's port city of Mocha has also been bearing the heavy brunt of Houthi missile and drone attacks, intensifying pressure along the Red Sea coast. A member of Yemen's National Resistance Forces alleged that the Houthis want to establish a strategic foothold near Bab al-Mandeb, according to AFP. In a major twist, Houthi military sources reportedly confirmed that an operation is indeed ready to take off, raising fresh questions over its objective. However, the Houthis allege that the operation is intended to seize areas south of Hodeidah rather than directly capture Bab al-Mandeb, according to AFP. Around 2,000 Houthi fighters are reportedly ready for deployment along Yemen's western coast, AFP claimed, potentially signaling a major mobilization. A Yemeni official alleged that the Houthis want to turn Bab al-Mandeb into another Strait of Hormuz, transforming the strategic waterway into a major pressure point. If the Houthis gain greater control, their ally Tehran could stand to gain the most, with increased strategic access to the Bab al-Mandeb and Red Sea corridor. Hours earlier, reports claimed that Houthi strikes had hit Saudi-linked targets including Najran Airport and Aramco-related facilities, signaling a potential widening of the group's pressure campaign against the kingdom. A day after claiming mass Saudi losses, the Houthis said they struck the kingdom again, opening a second straight day of reported cross-border drone operations. Yemen's Houthis claimed 2 new drone attacks inside Saudi Arabia on August 20th, targeting sites in the kingdom's southern border region. The Iran-backed group said both operations targeted the southern region of Najran, an area close to Yemen that has repeatedly faced Houthi drone attacks. One drone operation targeted what the Houthis called a sensitive site at Najran Airport, though the group did not identify the facility allegedly struck. A second drone operation targeted an Aramco facility in Najran, according to AFP, placing Saudi energy infrastructure back in the group's crosshairs. Houthi spokesman Yahya Sari claimed both drone operations achieved their objectives, presenting the attacks as successful retaliatory strikes against Saudi targets. Sari linked the attacks to alleged Saudi drone incursions over Yemen's Sada Governorate, accusing Riyadh of repeatedly violating Yemeni airspace. The Houthis warned they would continue responding to any incursions into Yemeni airspace, signaling that more drone attacks could follow if the violations persist. The Najran claims came just a day after the Houthis announced other attacks on Saudi forces, widening their reported campaign against the kingdom and its allies. On August 19th, Sari claimed major attacks on Saudi troops and Saudi-linked shipping, describing them as part of a month-long series of operations. The Houthis claimed hundreds of Saudi troops were killed or wounded in those operations, alongside reported damage to military equipment and Saudi-aligned vessels.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.